Okay, so I am going to compare a synthetic and a traditional bassoon reed today. I'm an intermediate player, um, and this has kind of just been what I learned. I randomly decided to buy this synthetic bassoon reed, soft plastic, at our local music store, and it was interesting to play. I'll be playing an etude on both of these um, to demonstrate the differences. But honestly, I think a lot of saxophones have good plastic synthetic reeds. However, I haven't quite mastered the craft with bassoon yet. I mean, I'm very willing to try more synthetic reeds, but currently the one I have and the one I've tried, it's not really up to standards. The tone is significantly worse. A lot of higher notes, pretty much anything E and above are very difficult to produce. Typically, my range currently um, is the low B flat um, up to high C sharp. So C sharp 5, I believe, written with numbers. Um, however, with my synthetic reed, it's basically a 50-50 chance whether or not I'll be able to get an A out, um, an A above the staff in bass clef, and in tenor clef. So that presents its difficulties. Then tone itself is very difficult. It's harder to have a more resonant tone. It's very out there, as you'll see. It's next to no capabilities to do vibrato, uh, and you have to use a lot of muscles to play any note. It gets easier after multiple tries, but it takes much more effort than a traditional bassoon reed usually takes in order to play a note or play well. Um, and then it's you can't really play smoothly. A lot of places I'll have to tongue, and not just it's like hard to tongue in general for synthetic reeds. Um, but even when you tongue lightly, that would make a not extremely noticeable sound on a traditional bassoon reed. It's extremely noticeable and it's practically staccato on a synthetic reed. So I will be playing a short excerpt from the etude in Weissenborn. It's the 39 etude. So if you're a bassoon student, you're probably familiar with that. Um, so first, I'll be playing on my traditional bassoon reed. time to switch over to the forbidden synthetic reed and see how that will play. Ah. And yeah, that's the synthetic bassoon reed for you. Um, just to end this out real quick, I kind of thought about how I didn't add any pros for synthetic reed. Um, I kind of just like dissed it, but honestly, the thing about a synthetic reed, it's not necessarily bad to practice on. It can make your diaphragm more engaged, for sure. That's basically the only way I've gotten out an E or higher. Once again, that's like 50% of the time. But that, um, also, they don't rot. That happens. They don't kind of like wear away, wear down. So you don't kind of have to constantly replace it. Personally, I would never perform with these or go to a rehearsal with a synthetic reed, but honestly, practicing with one isn't a horrible idea, especially if you have a lot of great reeds that are in good condition, but you're still working on creating more, and the ones that you have are kind of getting worn down. Um, so that's a beneficial situation for a good use for synthetic reeds, but overall, I'd say that the traditional reed definitely visibly comes out on top.